today I'm going to be doing my UK book haul. As some of you may know, I recently went on book tour in the UK and I got to meet so many of you amazing humans. I got to sign your books and say thank you for watching me, because to this day I'm still astounded that people want to watch my content. It means the world to me. But you know, when they send you on book tour, you tend to go to lots of bookstores. And so when you're in a bookshop, you tend to browse a lot. And so that's how we ended up here today, doing a book haul from the UK. But I also went to YALC, Young Adult Literary Convention, where I got a few ARCs as well, so I'm gonna share those too. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first book is a book that I've been trying to get my hands on for over a year now, and I've been scavenging the internet, trudging through bookstores for this edition of Harry Potter, but I never found it until I went to a Glasgow Waterstones, and it was just sitting there so innocently on the bookshelf saying, "Sasha, I'm here, buy me!" And I would be insane to not get this book, especially after looking for it for so long. Okay, and that is the Scots edition of Harry Potter, The Philosopher's Stone. So this is pretty much the first Harry Potter book, but all in Scottish slang. I'll insert a little photo of what the inside looks like because it's actually insane and hardly legible for somebody who does not know too much about Scottish slang. You know, even people who are from Scotland, they are still astounded by this type of literature. It's amazing! It's so cool! Here, I'll read a little bit of it for you. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley, number Bower, private loan. I'm going in and out of a Scottish accent. I'm sorry, I'm not from there. I can't speak the language. We're proud to say that they were again normal. Thank you very much. Okay, obviously my accent was atrocious. I understand that. But oh my gosh, reading it, or at least trying to read it in an American accent, which I have naturally, is impossible. And then even reading it in a Scottish accent, which I do not have naturally, obviously, is really impossible as well. But it's just so much fun, and I really wanted to have this to add to my Harry Potter collection because it is just such a neat thing, and I'm really glad I finally have it. The next book was sitting on a Scottish book table, and of course, me being obsessed with Scotland, had to go take a little browse over at said table, and that's where I found this book, and it is called The Murder of a Lady, a Scottish Mystery by Anthony Wine. So this book takes place in Dublin Castle in the middle of the Scottish Highlands, and late one night, the body of Mary Gregor, the Laird's sister, is found stabbed to death. But the thing is, she is found in her room, but the room is locked within and the windows are barred. So how does somebody murder somebody from within a locked room? And the only clue is a silver fish's scale, which was left on the floor next to her body. So Inspector Dundas is dispatched to go and try to solve the case. But then more murders ensue, and the mystery goes from, well, we need to solve this, to, holy crap, we need to solve this or more people are gonna die. I've heard great things about this murder mystery. It was originally published in 1931, so I'm really excited to dig on into this book and see what it has in store for us. I'm really excited. Something about me is that I actually really enjoy mystery books, but I haven't read a ton of them recently, but I used to devour them, like Nancy Drew. Freaking loved that series. I am excited to dive into this classic mystery and see what happens and who murdered Mary and the other humans who also died. The next book is by a reporter and author that I have been a big fan of since I found her Instagram way long ago. I think it's been like 2 years. And her name's Anna James, and she is coming out with a book called Pages & Co. This arc is so beautiful. It looks like a finished version of the book even though it isn't. But it is a middle grade, and I am so excited to dive on into the story. So since her mother's disappearance, Tilly has found solace in her grandparents' bookshop. And when characters like Anne of Green Gables and Alice in Wonderland appear in the shop, Tilly discovers that she could follow them into their thrilling fictional worlds. Yet the mysterious Enoch Chalk is lurking nearby, and Tilly begs to question, does he have the answer about where her mother disappeared to? Could he hold the truth of what really happened to her mother? I guess we'll have to see within Pages & Co. Okay, so this next book I was recommended by my publicist because she's like, oh hey, you live in Massachusetts, you probably know about the Salem witch trials. Oh, do I? I spend a lot of time in Salem, Massachusetts actually. It's a wonderful town. I get my tea at the apothecary there. It's really wonderful. So when I told her, of course I love Salem and love all the witchiness that comes from it and the very tragic stories of the witch trials, she's like, ooh, you gotta read this book, and that is The Witch of Willow Hall by Hester Fox. I don't know too much about it, but let me read you what it says on the back. Welcome to Willow Hall, where deadly secrets and powerful magic reside. 1821. When Lydia Montrose arrives at Willow Hall, she is haunted by her past and threatened by tragedy. But her secret inheritance and long-forgotten legacy are about to be awoken. And then the front of it says, years after the Salem witch trials, one witch remains. She just doesn't know it yet. This book comes out in October, so just in time for Halloween. The next book, I was in the green room at Yelp, and the author I just stumbled upon, and I'm like, oh hi, I'm Sasha. Because I love making new friends and introducing myself and being like, hey, let me know your life story. I'm a very nosy person, guys. But I ran into the author of this book, Rebecca Schaefer, and I was like, hey, my name is Sasha, it's lovely to meet you. Are you an author? And she's like, yes, I am. I'm coming out with a book and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then she's like, wait, are you Sasha Alsberg, the book reviewer? I'm like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, oh, let me give you my book. And I'm like, oh, give me. And oh my gosh, does it sound fantastic. And it's called Not Even Bones. So this book follows the story of Nina, and she dissects the bodies of monsters. And her mother, she murders those monsters and then sells their body parts in the black market. And she's pretty chill with it until her mom comes home with a live specimen and instructs her to start chopping it in pieces. And this specimen is a teenage boy who does not stop begging her to save his life. And that's pretty much a step too far for her, to murder somebody with her own hands. But when Nina decides to save her mother's victim, she ends up having to take his place because she isn't exactly all human. She has the ability to alter her biology, and this is an ability that is priceless on the black market. So then she gets locked in a cage of her own, and she struggles to escape. And then she has to question, is she willing to become the worst kind of monster? And lastly was a gift from one of you lovely humans, Amy, and she gave me Collected Folk Tales, which is a bind-up of folklore stories that I can use for inspiration for my book, Project Red. And she gave me this because she's like, hey, I know that you're working on a book that has Celtic mythology in it, so here is a book that I've had sitting around my bookshelf and I wanted to give it to you because maybe it'll help be inspiration for Project Red. So that was really nice for her. I cannot wait to dig through it because a lot of the research that goes into my book Project Red, that is not the official title, just saying, has to do with me digging through texts and online archives and all that fun stuff in order to make sure that this story and the mythology is A+ accurate and also A+ epic. So I cannot wait to see what this book has in store for me. So guys, that was my UK book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what's a book that you cannot wait to read that you recently purchased. I would love to know. And don't forget that my book ZENITH, the Andromeda Saga, is out in paperback now, so you can get it at your local bookstore if you live in the US, or on Book Depository or Amazon. So definitely go check that out. I'll be linking it down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!